What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and today I will be breaking down the latest twist in the 7 Deadly Sins sequel. A twist that completely shocked all of us longtime 7 Deadly Sins fans. Arthur and Merlin were recently revealed to be the villains of the 7 Deadly Sins sequel, and in the latest chapter, we finally got some information about how they might have turned into villains. In fact, Arthur just implied that he plans to eliminate the remaining members of the 7 Deadly Sins, along with the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, which is absolutely crazy, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse content on this channel and you want to see more, you know what to do. Just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to Anime Uproar, or maybe you watch our videos but you haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Remember, you have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting the bell, and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do all of those things, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Anime Uproar. Finally, this video will of course contain 7 Deadly Sins sequel spoilers, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. The latest chapter picks up inside the throne room in Camelot, where Arthur is still berating Ironside for failing to complete his mission. Arthur is determined to destroy Leonis for some reason, and he is disappointed that Ironside couldn't even defeat a child, even if that child happens to be one of the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. Arthur then proceeds to use a terrifying display of chaos power to pierce into Ironside's flesh and practically tear him limb from limb. This is a scene straight out of the most terrifying horror movies, and man, I have to say that chaos power is the stuff of nightmares. I can't even show most of this stuff on YouTube, it is that gruesome. As he mercilessly tortures Ironside, Arthur is ironically talking about how Camelot is a land with no pain and no sadness. A land where no one is exposed to any kind of threat or calamity. What? How are you saying this while brutally torturing one of your own men? This is just insane. But if you thought that was crazy, Arthur then goes on to say something even crazier. He says that as long as the remnants of the 7 Deadly Sins and the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are still around, Camelot will never have true peace. This implies that Arthur is going to try to take down the remaining members of the 7 Deadly Sins along with the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. Merlin appears to be on Arthur's side, and Escanor is unfortunately no longer with us. But that still leaves Ban, Gowther, King, Diane, and of course Meliodas as Arthur's targets. As crazy as Arthur's animosity towards the 7 Deadly Sins sounds to all of us who were fans of the original series, this is also an exciting development for me personally, because it means that we might be seeing the remaining 5 sins in this sequel sooner than we thought. If Arthur is the current main villain of the story, and he is targeting the 7 Deadly Sins along with the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, then it's safe to assume that we'll be hearing from the 7 Deadly Sins gang sooner rather than later. Arthur says that we must protect mankind from the constant holy wars that have been taking place among the various races, implying that he is not necessarily interested in peace between the different races. He seems interested in protecting and freeing the humans in particular, and he isn't concerned about the well-being of the other races. He is also determined to protect Camelot, but Camelot now appears to be located in a completely different realm from the rest of Britannia. It is as if the giant palace of Camelot exists inside some sort of pocket dimension created by chaos power. At the end of the original series, Arthur set out to turn Camelot into an everlasting kingdom. So perhaps placing Camelot inside some sort of chaos realm is part of Arthur's plan to make his kingdom eternal. At any rate, Arthur eventually decides to stop torturing Ironside, and once Ironside is released, his wounds are suddenly completely healed, and even the blood that had spilled all over him is now gone. Arthur looks at Ironside and laughs, telling Ironside that, hey, at least the torture took out all the poison from your blood. And in that moment, Arthur looks like the kind and friendly person that he had been in the original series. Which, to be honest, is even scarier than if he was just completely evil all of the time. What is going on with this man? Did chaos power drive him crazy? Can't Merlin help him in some way? Ironside vows to successfully defeat Percival next time around, but Arthur tells Ironside that he has a different mission for him. Instead of fighting the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, Ironside's job will be to search for Arthur's bride. Okay? Ironside is clearly surprised by this request from Arthur, and I think all of us readers are as well. After all of these crazy reveals, including the fact that Arthur is a villain, that he is targeting the remaining 7 deadly sins, and that he seems to be trying to protect humans at the expense of the other races, I don't think that any of us were expecting Arthur to just casually ask Ironside to find him a wife. Also, Merlin is right there, bro. She's right there. Meanwhile, as I said, Merlin is present throughout this entire scene, but she doesn't seem to actually say anything. She is too quiet, suspiciously quiet. I get the strong feeling that she doesn't support what's happening with Arthur, and she doesn't agree with his actions, but for some reason she has to go along with them. We have no idea what that reason is, and that makes this whole situation all the more mysterious. The focus of the chapter then switches back to Sistana and the aftermath of the battle against Ironside. Anne's father thanks Percival and the gang for protecting Sistana. Even though there is a lot of physical damage to the town, thankfully none of the citizens died as a result of the battle, and that is the most important thing. Sin is once again asked about his ally or allies and where they went, but he is dodgy and he refuses to answer. This is getting pretty frustrating to me personally because I was expecting a big Bond reveal, but I guess we'll have to wait a bit longer. Anne's father then explains that he is well acquainted with Ironside and Percival's grandpa because they served Camelot as holy knights alongside Anne's mother. In the image that we see of Anne's mother with Ironside and Percival's grandpa, in the background we can also see Arthur, Merlin, and Nanashi, that samurai guy who appeared in the original 7 Deadly Sins series during the Visel Festival arc. It seems that Nanashi decided to serve King Arthur in Camelot after the original series ended. Nanashi is a pretty random character to just throw in there, but personally I do appreciate every reference to the original series, so it's all good with me. Now the weird thing is, Anne's mother had once described Ironside as a noble and upright man who was always striving to do good. So clearly something has changed drastically with Ironside in the past 16 years, and that very much echoes Arthur's own transformation from kind-hearted hero and ally of the sins to a villain king who apparently wants to destroy the 7 deadly sins. Roughly 16 years ago, some major event must have occurred in Camelot, something that completely changed not only King Arthur but also many of his men, including Ironside. Did the power of chaos suddenly take control of Arthur and corrupt his mind? Did some imposter manage to somehow take control of Arthur? Did something else happen to genuinely change Arthur's mind about the 7 deadly sins and the holy wars? I'm betting that the power of chaos will prove to be the key to understanding what really happened, but we'll have to wait and see how things play out. The chapter ends as Anne decides to leave Sistana and join Percival, Sin, Nacien, and Dani on their journey. Anne dreams of becoming a great holy knight one day, just like her mother, but the fight with Ironside has taught her that she still has a long way to go. So, Anne is going to set off from Sistana and begin more intense training, and since Percival and the squad are already there, it makes sense for them all to travel together. So, after a tearful goodbye with her father, Anne joins the squad and the adventure continues. Personally, I really like Anne. I think she's cool and very badass, and I think she will make a good addition to the squad. Her name, Anne Galahad, is likely a reference to Sir Galahad, one of the Knights of the Round Table in Arthurian legend. So it makes sense that Anne would play an important part in the story. That said, as much as I do like the current squad, I definitely want to see Tristan and Lancelot making their appearance sometime soon, not to mention the OGs like Bon and Meliodas. Let me know what you guys think. Why would Arthur turn against the 7 deadly sins? And does the fact that he directly mentioned them as his targets mean that some of them are about to return to the story sooner rather than later? Also, what's the deal with Ironside? How did he go from a noble knight who does only good things to an evil villain who murdered his own father, tried to murder his son, and nearly sacrificed an entire town? Finally, when is the main squad going to meet up with the other Knights of the Apocalypse? Definitely share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Nights of the Apocalypse videos here on the channel, please leave that like and comment. It only takes a second, but it helps a lot. And if you're new to Anime Uproar, or maybe you watch our videos but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a favor, make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Anime Uproar. I want to give a big thank you to all of our Anime Uproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma. He is an absolute mad lad and disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Pate Hefa, Aljatal, Hinokami and Water, The Toasted Chi, The Spike, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tanel, Tungsten Tarkus, Baked Buddhist, Cody Hebert, and Monkey D. Quilly. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, the Red-Haired Raven, Angel Cruz, Rathuin Deora, Very Gucci, Alicia Akhter, Bonnie Parks, Joanne Garcia, Ted No Ted, Fatboy Games, Corey McGowan, and Soul Ray Slice and Dice. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.